From March to May, 6 sunflowers created by the Santa Barbara County Office of Arts and Culture in collaboration with local artists were on full display along State Street. The Santa Barbara Office of Arts and Culture represents a partnership between the city, county, and state who work together to bring public art and art services to all residents. In this sunflower project, the office supported the curation and community engagement while working with the artists, 6 different schools, donors, and sponsors, and the city to make sure that they secured locations for each sunflower.
We were inspired by the Vincent van Gogh exhibition coming to the Santa Barbara Museum of Art. So they're bringing in paintings of his from all over the world to share with the Santa Barbara community. And we thought one of the more iconic works that he's created have been those about the sunflowers. And the more we talked about it with community members, the more that they were excited about the idea of having big, beautiful sunflowers up and down State Street, kind of leading to the Museum of Art. Santa Barbara is 9th per capita in the nation in working artists. We have so many artists that live and work in our community, so we're very lucky. We are always excited to work with youth, especially school students, and one way that we do that sometimes is through the Pianos on State program, which is also a large collaboration with lots of different arts groups around the city. But different schools generally submit proposals to paint pianos, and this year we had more proposals from schools than pianos available. And so we thought, what are the different ways that we can still allow those students who want to paint something for State Street to have that opportunity?
This year, the Santa Barbara Art Museum showcased art from Van Gogh's 10-year career. The pieces being shown were a mixture of the Santa Barbara Art Museum's permanent collection as well as pieces borrowed from other museums. The museum, like the Sunflower Project, found ways to involve the community.
It was years in the making and involved connecting with people internationally as well as nationally and working with the community to sort of till the ground and plant the seed for the kind of community programs that then our department, the education department, could come in and help tend that garden so that it would be in full bloom when Van Gogh actually opened. And it was remarkable how many people said, yes, of course we'd like to be involved. It really felt like a reawakening of Santa Barbara. There were many different levels of partners in this, and they were actually a group that had a wonderful idea and ran with it and did not require much from us other than our saying, bravo, go for it. We love that you're working with students and then it's going to be visible on State Street. So in that particular one, we did not coordinate it. We just applauded it, essentially.
Spring arrived in Santa Barbara, and it was evident with the 6 8-foot sunflowers that adorned State Street going from Carrillo to Victoria. This sunflower project was pioneered by the Santa Barbara County of Arts and Culture in tandem with the Santa Barbara Museum of Art, who had their own springtime exhibition titled Through Vincent's Eyes. The Office of Arts and Culture spearheaded the idea and curation of the sunflowers. The environment makers were the artists behind the structural work of the sunflowers, which were made of steel, wood, mesh, and epoxy resins. Each sunflower was painted by a different set of local student artists.
With any other type of art installation, when Sarah York Rubin's office contacted us, the Office of Arts and Culture, to make a community art project and described it, and she said that the students were going to be painting the flower heads. And after I discussed it with my partner, Jonathan Smith, we wanted to really make this a community art project. And what we wanted is we wanted anybody off the street to be able to come in and participate at any time. Whether that be, like for me, I'm like, well, part of the structure is made with PVC. I'm like, who doesn't want to learn how to glue PVC correctly? Why not? And we wanted to use materials that you could source locally, trying to keep the funds here in Santa Barbara. And so the design was the challenge of selecting the materials that the average person could use with no sculpting ability or no artistic experience whatsoever. And I think that we were successful in that.
That was kind of interesting because we moved from our place where we were building them over to the Arts Fund. And I'm a doodler and a cartoonist. And I very rapidly drew out an image of a sunflower, kind of like a cartoon. And that seems to have influenced our process, that by the time we'd actually finished them, they pretty much looked like the cartoon, which I wasn't expecting. It was just like, but that's pretty much what happened.
The Arts Fund, located on State Street, gave the environment makers a place to work in their gallery. Anyone who walked in could get involved immediately, an idea proposed by project lead Kim Cochran.
Process was based on these volunteers and the students painting the flowers. And so that was the beauty of it. We could have made this all by ourselves and done our usual thing, but we didn't want to do that. So we spent the time and we spent the money and the funds to be able to open it up. 2 of them were college-age students. One of them was a mother of a 10-year-old. She had never sculpted anything in her entire life. And she saw us working in the window at the Arts Fund, and she's like, can I do some? It's like, sure, come on in tomorrow. She made 12 leaves, and 12 of these petals she made. She was bummed there weren't more ready for her to make.
Each sunflower was painted with the collaboration of students from Dos Pueblos High School, Goleta Valley Junior High School, La Colina Junior High School, Santa Barbara Junior High School, Santa Barbara High School, and San Marcos High School. The students became involved as the environment makers finished building the sunflower heads. The students were in charge of painting the sunflower heads and enjoyed artistic freedom to create their unique look.
I remember it was just like the boxes arrived back, and I was working on another project that day, and arrived back in the evening. I remember opening up these boxes and kind of scared about what we were going to find. And then they were fantastic. It was just like, what I really like about that is that they all had the same materials, they all had roughly an identical sunflower head, and they all did radically different things with them. It's fantastic. It's just like, I love the one further down the street that way where it's just like, hey, it's a Van Gogh thing, so they've kind of painted it in a Van Gogh style. It's just like absolutely marvelous. I mean, my hat off to them.
Being in the Visual Arts and Design Academy, or VADA, at the high school allows me to join a lot of different local opportunities. We tried a lot of different things. We gained a lot of inspiration from some pictures of sunflowers and some from Van Gogh's pieces specifically, but we really wanted to try something new and try something experimental, so we just tried to play with color and see what happened.
I work right next to where they put the flowers, so I didn't know where they'd put it, and then I went to work one day and it was right there, so it was pretty wild, right in front of the museum, so it's pretty special.
While the sunflower sculptures were taken down in May, the Office of Arts and Culture hopes to relocate them to the Jardín de las Granadas this summer.